Hi guys, hi. It's a pleasure to be here today with you. It's a new amazing Friday. So, what we will discuss today. First, I'll answer your questions from the previous session, and then I'll update you on news which we have since the last week. And I will also and then in the end, I will check the comment section on YouTube and try to answer the questions which you just asked. So, let's start from the first one. Somebody wrote us, I just wanted to know when your template will be able to handle bundled products. And the answer is we have not yet put it on the date roadmap, but it's in a backlog. We are really relying on the community in this task. We are unable to deliver this feature because none of our partners willing to share the solution, and the core team currently has more priority, more the task with a higher priority. And those tasks include extensions, etc. So much higher priority. So if you guys want to have bundled products, please implement them and put the pull request so we can review, update your solution with, or implement your. I will help you to implement the solution if you would. If somebody wants to implement bundled products, please raise your hand and ping me in the community Slack, and I make myself and I help you with everything I can. This includes the architectural help, and maybe I can connect you with people who already worked on this before. We had some people trying, but they never finished the implementation. So that's only the front end job because for the backend, it's mostly completed. So guys, if somebody is up to make bundled products or already has implemented them, please, please, I would really appreciate the contribution. Um, yeah. So now, and by the way, you can also connect to hello@scandivap.com if you, as a partner or as an agency, want a specific features to be implemented, and Antons um, can help you understand how you can get to this if you don't want to to wait in this queue of us implementing specific features. So that's about bundled products. The second thing is about the question states, is there a Docker machine to work with Magento / ScandiPWA? Very interesting question. Well, of course it is. If you go to github.com and search for ScandiPWA / ScandiPWA-base, or you can search for ScandiPWA Docker, you will find out that there is a specific repository which was made from a day zero. So ScandiPWA is initially shipped for you in the Docker. Yes, and you can also install it separately as a composer package. So yes, the answer to your question, we have a Docker setup. And what's more, we have new documentation for the setup, which I will talk later. If I understand, the next question is, if I understand well, the theme of PWA doesn't contain PHTML files, for example, but files of React Redux. Is that true? And the answer to this is also yes, that's true. We get rid of the layout and template system of Magento because this system is meant for server-side rendering. We are doing the single page application, which is rendered on the client side, so-called client-side rendering. And React is an algorithm or a tool which allows us to efficiently work with a DOM, the document object model, the HTML representation in JavaScript. So it allows us to really perform efficiently, and this is what makes the single page application experience possible today. So instead of writing layouts and templates, you are now writing React components. And everything is based on classes, so don't be afraid. It's the same OP paradigm. You won't really get lost. So we will guide you, and we have a very helpful community. And what more, we now have a link which you can immediately join instead of joining from the ScandiPWA site. And you can find this link in the GitHub repository. Yep. So that's the questions I have seen from the community on the previous session. And sorry for a bad sounder. Driving and talking is not the best idea, but it was night and mountains, so it was kind of necessity. I'm sorry, guys, for this. Hopefully, we'll not repeat this. So now to the news. The first and the coolest news is I today returned from the conference in Stockholm. It was amazing. It was really great. We had a lot of people visiting it, and it was a pleasure to speak there. I was invited by ScandiPWA, and I talked a lot about the biggest products we launched and the Technodome, and about the differences in Magento and ScandiPWA, and the challenges which we faced while implementing the new way of communicating, of rendering the content, like not the SSR, but client-side rendering with an old backend. It was a very interesting talk. We had people from multiple huge corporations like Google, like Spotify. They came, they listened, and they asked a lot of questions. We had an amazing discussion afterwards. So if you find a meetup in ScandiPWA meetup in your city, join it, and yeah, you might catch up with me there, possibly, or with some other ScandiPWA evangelist. Yeah. So that's a conference in Stockholm. Search for your conferences on ScandiPWA website, or you can also ask in community Slack. Possibly there are people who can answer you. The enterprise features, that's the second point. The enterprise features of Magento, like gift cards, page builders, and store credits, is coming to ScandiPWA. Hooray! But, of course, they are coming as extensions. So they will have to wait a little bit. So now this ScandiPWA will support extensions, and the pull request will be opened in the next week. And the next week we'll also receive the first extension for ScandiPWA, which will be a PayPal. But before I speak about extensions, let's complete the topic of enterprise features. So the gift cards and the page builder is currently in progress, and you might know that the page builder was already, or not already, but it was made for PWA Studio. So we are learning from the solution they made and optimizing it as well. So yeah, we are also working. Unfortunately, our solutions are incompatible, but we will definitely learn from PWA Studio implementation. And we'll try to make it a little bit better if we can, because we don't have limitations, they do. So yeah, that's about the page builder. And about gift cards, well, they are completed currently, and the store credit is currently in progress, but the extensions out of them was not made yet, so we are also working on this part. That's cool. The next thing is, the next week, the ScandiPWA hadn't released for a long time, for a week or two, and that's because everybody was busy with huge features, like, for example, the SEO challenge, the GTM, the OG tags, the CEO, the better meta tags, etc. And we removed the helmet, the React helmet. Finally, it was a very heavy dependency, and hooray again! We have now one third-party dependency less. That's a cool thing to be proud of. So yes, a little bit of changes happening in the SEO part. We are building a better SEO for ScandiPWA, and that's one track, which we're busy in the last 2 weeks. Then the extensions. We are also busy building extensions and trying to ensure the efficiency of this mechanism and ease to use, and to QA and validate it. So now we can build extensions out of it. That's another track we had. Another track was the moot again. It was kind of no business value track, but really important for us developers, because now I'm streaming from my MacBook and I'm tired of switching to Linux and dual boot. Let's make Mac available for ScandiPWA. So The pull request is almost there. Once again, in the previous week, it was kind of abandoned because we had some more important business-related stuff to do. But now, when we are once again free, the guys will continue to work on this part. And another challenge of the previous week was, as I already told, the enterprise features. So we had people working on them and really getting into them. So we have a lot of bugs to fix because the community reported a lot and we knew about multiple. So it's time to make a new release, very minor release, but fixing a lot of bugs. So I want to announce my limited availability next week. So if you guys planned to ask a lot of questions to me, and I know you did, in community Slack, please be aware the response time might be higher than usual because I will be really into fixing bugs. And from now on, we will try to keep only 2 weeks of pull request time. Like if the pull request is not merged in 2 weeks, we either close it, either I do something with it, but we do not let it left it open. So that's a thing which we are doing, and that's kind of really important to me because now we have pull requests from 3 months old, and we don't really have. We need to resolve them. So we need to get rid of those old things which are really stopping us from moving forward rapidly. And in the background, the team will develop the extensions, but I will help with the bug fixing because I'm really good at this. I know the theme from like my 5 fingers. Yeah, so it will be easier for me to fix them rather for a team. And I will finally get my hands to the code because previously I wasn't able to. Then, once again, just to mention, after this week, after the next week, the upcoming week, you will have the compare products, maybe not so minor release. So compare products is coming. It's here because it was a long time implemented by our community, and we are currently merging it in because there were a lot of changes needed, and the pull request is kind of abandoned, and there are styling for it needed. So I will take care of it for the next week, and we will release the compare products alongside with the bug fixes. So the moot again, as I already mentioned, it's nearing its completion. It's already approved by Ilya, the additional maintainer of ScandiPWA, and we are not the additional, but the, I would say, overlook maintainer. He's overlooking my work, and like he's the CDO mostly. So yeah, he is currently accepted the implementation, and we are working towards the finalizing all the known points to it, and I hope the next week you will get the instructions to run this ScandiPWA on your local. And to the instructions, well guys, the last week for me was really into writing the setup instructions really deep and writing the frequently asked questions and composing them from your reports in community. And now it's kind of huge, and I'm really proud of it. And I hope we can cooperate with them more to deliver much more and to have much broadened FAQ for everyone. So that's another thing. And the extensions, the new documentations for installation and FAQ will be available on docs.scandipwa.com on Monday, or maybe on this week, in weekends. But overall, yes, they are there. The community has already seen it. I have shared the private links to my repository, but now it will go public into the ScandiPWA repositories. So that's a good thing. Another hooray! You will have less questions now because the documentation is really detailed, and we really made sure anybody could install it. So we took some guys with no experience in coding at all, put them and asked them to install, and they managed to. So hopefully we'll have less questions, and in future we will try to broaden the frequently asked questions section. So great, to the next topic, the first extensions coming. Yes, the planned extensions are GTM, OG Tags, PayPal, Braintree, Stripe, Klarna, page builder, gift cards, store credit, and maybe something more. So why everything I mentioned will be becoming an extension? Because those are some kind of product integrations into the theme, and from our point of view, no product integration should be available in the theme in the core package, because this really makes competition really complex. Then we ship something by default, which is bad. So we'll try to mitigate all the integrated products, and by doing that, and also we will try to decouple the theme, so start removing dependencies out of it, and the PayPal, Braintree, Stripe, and Klarna, they will get removed from the theme and be moved into the Composer packages. And later you will work with them like you do with the Composer, like you do normally with things. So you will see the extensions. I will make a long video about them, but you will be really surprised of how powerful they are, and how cool is that you can have your backend modules, the old Composer modules you did, and you can provide the GraphQL implementation there along with your front-end implementation for this specific package. And this is just awesome, because we are finally at the state which Magento, how Magento is handling their modules. We are now a theme which supports modules just like the Magento, and we currently support the plugin system and the override like preference system. So stay tuned, guys. This will be amazing, and hopefully next week will get us to the first extensions. And I would like to warn you that there might be a huge release the next, like in 2 weeks, with the, I would call it 3.0 release, but it won't contain anything major in terms of the code. It will only contain the different exports, because this is what really is important for our extension. So exports will change, but your code most likely will continue working. The only thing when migrating will be that you will need to update your exports. We will take a look at this later on when I will release it, when we will have an official announcement. But for now, I'm just making you the small sneak peek into what is coming up. And finally, the new docs, as I already mentioned, they're coming for the new installation or setup instructions, are coming on how to set up ScandiPWA on clean Magento using Composer, and what requirements what are before you start requirements, etc. The setup on Linux, on Mac, on Windows, which will on Windows will be funny. We will just write no support, because how often people are asking about this. And then we'll add the instructions for production builds and how you can deploy this in production using the cloud, which we already have, and using the remote server, like working with the front end, pointing to the remote server. So those instructions will be published on Monday, or possibly today, but I will reveal it, or you will get a newsletter about them on Monday. Yeah, that's a thing. So that covers up what I wanted to tell you. Let's see what you guys asked me to answer during this session. So let's see. So good afternoon. I have seen from David Sello. David Sello, good afternoon. Pleasure to meet you. And as I see, no questions now. But if you have questions, make sure to send them to hello@ScandiPWA.com or ask me in community Slack, and then we'll answer you as soon as possible. So thank you guys for joining in. It was an amazing and I believe very quick stream today. Just 20 minutes. Yeah, very fast. So thank you guys for joining in. Hope to hear you next time, and feel free to join the community Slack, and yeah, like our videos, because we are finally on YouTube. So everybody, ciao. Thank you.